In a world focused on the individual, this podcast aims to shine a light on the remarkable spirit of humanity. We're dedicated to bringing you the inspiring conversations with exceptional organizations and individuals devoted to creating a better world. Welcome to the Lighthouse Keepers Podcast.
Welcome back to the Lighthouse Keepers Podcast. I'm your host, Mary Ellen Sherlock, and I am thrilled today to introduce you to my guest. I just want to prepare my listeners. This topic might be a little trippy, and I'm 10 toes down on it. I'm excited to introduce you to Stacey Lynn Bassani. Stacy is the owner of Divine Healing Wellness, Divine Quantum Wellness. This is good, guys, so stay with us on this.
It's okay.
The fact that we met is nothing short of a miracle. We both follow an amazing person that not everybody fully understands. But let's start in your journey that you originally were a Reiki healer.
Yes.
So can you tell our listeners out there, what is Reiki?
Well, Reiki's prana, Qigong, prana, chi, energy. So Reiki is just a different name. Mm-hmm. It's just energy.
It's just energy. And when people come to you for Reiki energy healing, you can feel their energy physically.
Right. We have different levels of energy. They say the aura, can go out 15 feet, but we all have different levels, and it's called biosin. So if your energy is really low, it's going to be close to your body. But if you have high vibe energy, it's going to be really out.
No kidding.
Like you, Mary Ellen.
Just a bit, right? And is that high energy, is that good or bad? Too much, too little?
Well, we want to balance it, just like acupuncture. So Reiki's a cousin of acupuncture.
No kidding.
Yeah, so acupuncture, they use the needles and they spin it. Either open
I've done it for a long time.
Yeah. So like I could feel it with my fingertips, so I can feel where it's going. So Yusui Holy Fire 3, Dr. Hayashi, is it? He was a doctor. He would write down everything, like where in your energy field it was off, and he would say where to put your hands. But he said he'd feel it, scan your energy system, and go right to the target spot.
I think what most of our listeners may or may not know on when you go from conventional medicine to Western medicine is there is a belief that for every illness there's something that's stuck in the physical body. Right. And so Reiki and acupuncture are ways, and I don't know that method, but those are ways that you can heal a person without medicine.
So stuck energy is sick energy, and that's the Qigong and Reiki. Anything with energy, it's something's happening to you. There's something that needs to be cleared.
You're out of balance.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so what made you want to start to do this type? Did you have things in your life like, I don't want to take medicine anymore. I don't want to use an inhaler. Don't need this kind of medicine. I don't want to worry about whatever ailment. I'm going to go a different method. What was the impetus that you were like, this might be what my passion is?
Well, I had a long ride.
Oh.
Okay. So my thing was anxiety. I had really bad anxiety where I would stop breathing, faint. I'm still working through it, but the Reiki soothes you, calms you down. It's good for meditation. It's just very soothing, healing, and I was actually drawn into it when I was working in a school. It was a private school. The kids had, IEPs they had all different, they couldn't be in a public school. Mm-hmm. And the counselors would send them to me. I taught computer science for 3 years. And the principal would send them. I'm like, what's going on here? And they told me, you're empathic. The kids love you. And I started doing Reiki on them. And their blood pressure would go down. Their anxiety would go down. So I felt like I was one of those kids when I went to school. Mm-hmm. But no one knew what to do with me.
No one knew what it was. Didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, I couldn't take tests. I would get nervous. So these kids really taught me to what's going on here. And then I learned Reiki. And then I brought it back to the school.
Right. So one of the things that you and I share in common, in addition to the total belief that this works and how life-changing it is, because I've had both Reiki and acupuncture, is what you've actually done classes for, which is this quantum healing. Huge fan of this. I know Dolores Cannon was one of the original people who taught this throughout the world. I think she's done this globally. She created her own program. But can you tell us a little bit? I think she does it, quantum healing. When the word quantum makes me think of quantum physics. So that might, I might break out in hives when I think about physics, but it wasn't my favorite subject in high school. Tell us a little bit about what that actually means. It sounds very impressive, but it's not scary.
No, well, I think it's more the quantum field. Mm-hmm. The subconscious, the almighty God source energy, instant healings, miracles.
Right.
The higher self, you call it whatever you want.
Right. I think we
don't
spoke
understand
was the subconscious,
it.
right?
The subconscious.
Subconscious.
Dolores called it the subconscious because she didn't know what to call it, and they didn't care because they were going to come in anyway.
Yes.
So the names don't matter.
Right.
We don't need to label everything.
Right.
But that was her agreement with the source energy. So.
Right. One of the things that you called it, I think, was it's actually your higher self. It's the actual part of you that's beyond your ego,
right.
And what you actually aspire to when you can get out of your own way. And
it's love.
Yes.
Love is the strongest energy.
Right. So when people
loving.
come to you, Stacy, and they're looking for something is amiss. So you said most of my patients stumble upon, they find you. Right. I don't think that's a coincidence. Do you?
No.
No, I didn't find you. I mean, there's no coincidence you're here today. What is it are they able to articulate what's wrong and what they need? Or, Mary Ellen, they'll walk in and know, they might know, but I know right away.
Yeah, well, I can feel and sense their energy. So energy doesn't lie. Mm-hmm. They can tell you, they're telling their story. So either they're in victimhood or, whatever their story is. When we get into the session, it's like the mind is the mainframe, I call it. So once we get in there, there's a whole nother story.
Really?
And then we go back to past lives to help them with their current life, whatever's happening now, and then we take them up to their higher selves to get another perspective. So it's different perspectives.
So I'm going to just put a little disclaimer in here. So I have had my past lives read. Yeah. I grew up Catholic. Still Catholic, nothing changed. I didn't turn in my card. And I know that there are things that I was taught in my religion about, when you die, you go to heaven or hell or purgatory, things like that. And I think I was just always a very curious child about that practice. And I don't think it was until I had my child, when I first gave birth to Lindsay, that I remember thinking, I can't imagine a parent subjecting a child who did something wrong to hell. I struggle with that a little bit. Yeah. I always would forgive you love your child even though it's the most god-awful thing. Right. You love your children unconditionally. And so that didn't settle with me. And I started to read a lot of books and try to understand a lot about that. And I met a wonderful woman named Anna Ramundi. She was a medium in the town where we lived in, and she did past lives. And I was like, what's that again? And she said, well, the person you were before you came here, you're not a body, you have a body. You're a soul. In this life, you're called Mary Ellen Sherlock. In another life, you can be called something else. And that was so exciting for me. I was so interested in it, and I kept going. And actually, it didn't scare me. It actually gave me a lot of peace. It made me understand my life's purpose today, why I'm around the people, the lessons that I'm here to learn. Is that how when you work with people that do past lives, can you tell us a little bit about how you do it in your program? Yeah,
well, we just have to relax and watch the show. Mm-hmm. Whatever's going on. So we like to shift to the right side of the mind, because the left side's the analytical side, it's the judgmental side, it's the logical side. So we just want to watch it like a movie. Third eye, right here, your third eye, or, it's you kind of knowing. So we all are psychic. We all have these abilities. So whichever way you come in, it's like a muscle. So you might not see it, you might feel it first, or you might see it first and then feel it. So Dolores said that there were people that come to her workshop, and there was these ladies that were blind, and everyone's like, how are you going to do this? They did it. They saw what they needed to see in the workshop, so it kind of makes you question, what's going on here?
Yes, exactly.
So that's the lives we had. So I just have to get you nice and relaxed, and then I take you back. Dolores' method, it's the best. It has everything. And you're safe, you're protected, nothing can harm you mentally or physically. I love her method. I believe in it, and it works. If I believe in the method and her script, it works.
Right.
If I doubt it, you're out.
Right.
So, and then I take you back to a past life. You tell me the very first impressions, and we talk about it. We go from there, and then I move you forward or back, depending on where you landed. And we find out so much information. Like if you had a pain or something going on in your life now, it could have came from a past life.
Right.
Ailments are in past lives. I've had so many.
Right.
A lot of trauma too, and you're living out that pattern in this lifetime. So it's just giving you a different perspective, like a story.
Right, yes.
We need to see it. We need to see the different sides and have the aha moments.
Right.
And then after we do a few past lives, I take you up to your higher self.
Right. I think one of the things that I know in all of the past lives that I did, when you're in that life, you trying to find out what was the purpose of that life. And then when you're leaving that life, the practitioner said to me, what is it that you learned in this life? Or what is the pain? Like you're trying to find out what is it that you're carrying forward.
Exactly. So I do take you up to the death scene, which I didn't want to say. And Dolores did. And we've taken many people up to the death scene. You don't actually die. But you see it from a different perspective. Then I ask the purpose and lessons. And at that point, you can become between lives. It all depends. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different session. And then it becomes fun.
Yes. I have to say this. It does become fun.
Yeah.
Because once you go back and you do this, things just, it makes so much sense. It made so much sense to me. Like all of a sudden, like, no, it was actually mind-blowing. I mean, this is a little mind-blowing concept, but especially for people who are like, I don't really know. But I have to tell you, I feel like it was life-changing for me. Just to realize that I've been here before. And something else, the people that are currently in my life, some of them have been in my past life.
Exactly.
So this is my favorite part of past life. Somebody that asked me said, what's it like to have a past life reading? And this is the only thing that I can tell you if you want to have them. If you've ever had a dream and you're sleeping at night and you wake up and you tell the person the next day, so you and I were at the mall. I never see your face. I just know that you're with me.
Yeah.
And Fred and Tony and so, and we're going through the mall and we stop at Aunt Annie's. You don't know, like you don't see them. It's when you have a dream, you just know, like, and then next thing I know, Grandma's in it and she's making pasta. If you've ever had a dream like that, that is what you experience in a past life. It's a knowing.
Well, it's like I'm in your dream with you.
Yes.
Because we don't want you to go see Grandma as you're in the mall.
Right.
So I keep you focused.
Keep you focused on
in
it.
that one lifetime. Because in a dream, it's just like a free-for-all.
Right.
We're all over the place.
Right.
But I keep you focused.
Right.
To find out as much as you can. Because people do that ayahuasca and the mushrooms, and they're like, I just was here, there, and everywhere, and they come to me, they want to put it into pieces. They want to make sense of it.
Why do you think, Stacy, people are, we were talking in the studio earlier today, in 1969, there was a Broadway play put out called Hair, and the Fifth Dimension had a story called The Age of Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In. This is now the age of Aquarius.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that there are more people that are going into enlightenment, learning more? I don't want to say steering away from religion, not asking anybody to give anything up, but find out life purpose. What am I here for? Enlightenment. Is that what you're seeing in your practice and in some of your clients?
Especially after COVID.
Especially after COVID.
But that's why we're here. We're supposed to mature. We're supposed to come back to ourselves. We're remembering who we are. We're all psychic. We're all intuitive beings. The religion part, I believe in a lot of different religions because they're all based in love.
Right. And that's we're not asking anybody to abandon anything.
No,
It's
take it with you. We're supposed to blend. We're part of everything.
Right.
So we're supposed to blend with everything. The good, the bad, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you find that people feel better? One of the greatest books I think we've both read is Brian Weiss's Many Lives, Many Masters.
Yeah.
And he goes into how, people are going to think he's bananas, past lives, what are you talking about? But there are more people, like you said, doing ayahuasca and, frog toad serum. And I do think that people, I've heard that. I don't know, there was another method. Don't try this at home, folks. But these are ways that people are.
They're curious.
They're curious. They want to know.
And they're trying to meditate, and they're trying to reach a different state because sometimes Earth is a little boring.
Yeah.
Working 9 to 5.
Troubling.
And
God, please don't look at the news.
Trauma, you're done with it. We're done with where we're at.
Yeah.
So we're curious.
Yeah.
And we're just examples for others.
Right.
Just be the light that you are, and people will follow or they don't.
Right. Be the light that you are. What a great note to finish this discussion about be the light that you are. Stacy, I know that you're trying to do that with so many of the patients that come to you that are looking for answers. And I love that it's a practice that you have the courage to be willing to take people on.
Thank you, Dolores.
Yes,
Cannon.
thank you,
I
Lord.
thank her every day.
To see the light that people. Thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you.
I want to let you know that if our listeners want more to hear about Stacy, you'll come back and talk to us.
I'll come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So much more.
I know. There's so much to talk about. We've just hit the tip of the iceberg.
Just the crust,
Thank you so much for being on the
thank
Lighthouse
you.
Keepers podcast. So wonderful to have you.
It's wonderful.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching and being part of this journey. Remember that lighthouses symbolize hope. With hope, we persevere and inspire positive change. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. Until next time, keep shining your light.